Welcome to our little segment for social media. 5 questions with your classical educator. So we're doing some interviews with St. Raphael School instructors, and today we have a new instructor with us, Anastasia WIlkinson, and she is going to be answering some questions for us today so that our school community can better get to know her. So welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you just a chance to introduce yourself. What would you like to tell us? Anything about who you are?
Well, let's see. I'm third generation Russian. I live in Hawaii on the island of Oahu with my husband and 7 children. And we're part of the Iveron Icon Church in Kailua, Hawaii.
Beautiful, beautiful. You all have been there in Hawaii a long time, right?
Yes, we moved there in 2005. Okay. So with the exception of 3 years being away in California, we've been there since 2005. Yeah.
What an experience to get to grow up in Hawaii. I'm so jealous. Well, fantastic. So tell us about, actually, before I ask this next question, I want to make sure that our community knows what you'll be teaching with St. Raphael School next year. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're going to teach with us for the coming school year?
So I'm going to be teaching 2 classes, both for elementary age children. The first one is Russian primer and alphabet, and then the second class is Russian grammar class.
Fantastic. I'm quite excited personally because I know we have a lot of families who have been wanting Russian for younger ages. And so this is delightful that we have someone with so much experience teaching Russian to younger children, even to your own children, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. So tell me, why do you teach?
Well, I love the Russian language. So I grew up speaking Russian. And I just, when I started having children, I decided, oh, I'm only going to speak Russian to them because I want them to learn that language well. Since as they get older, English is going to take over. And it was just a great experience for myself and for my children. They tell me now as teenagers that they're really grateful that they were given that gift of the Russian language. So it's just something that fills me, yeah.
I love that. And I can tell all of our listeners that she has done a beautiful job with her children. They speak beautiful Russian. And it truly is a gift. How wonderful that they are at least bilingual, right? The way you're raising them. It really is a gift to be able to give your children. So really wonderful. I'm excited for you to be able to give that to our community too. Okay, so question number 3. What book has been formative to who you are? This is a good one.
Yes, it's also a difficult one because I can't pick any one book. I really love reading about Orthodoxy, about the saints, and then Orthodox self-help books are great, but one that stands out to me, one written by or compiled by somebody based on the sayings of Elder Theotokos. It's called Our Thoughts Determine Our Lives. So I go back to that time and time again for advice or spiritual support.
Beautiful. I love that you chose that book. I love that book, but it has been several years since I read it. And it's actually sitting on my bedside table right now because I keep telling myself, I need to pick that book up again. It's time to revisit it. And actually to revisit with some of my kids, because it's occurred to me that it is probably a really good one, especially for sort of adolescents to read. So
I recommend that one to my older daughter recently.
Yeah. I'm glad. Thanks for that reminder for me and for our listeners. What a fabulous book. Okay, so in the classical model and as classical educators, we often think about beauty. So question number 4 is kind of open-ended. what has been one of the most beautiful things that you have ever seen?
Yeah, this is also a difficult one. I think almost every day I notice at least one beautiful thing in this world. So, gosh, it's hard to answer, but I think probably one of the most beautiful and really most amazing things I've ever seen is the Iveron Mer streaming icon, which is actually kept on the island of Hawaii, and is very often in our church because our caretaker lives there, and of course, we're just so blessed to be able to see that almost every weekend. And it's amazing to see how the streaming will change. The streaming of the Mar changes depending on the time of year. But especially during Pascha, we're always witnessing the just abundance of Mar, even dripping from the icon as she comes. So it is really incredible. I think that's probably, yeah, the most beautiful thing that I've been to. Yeah.
I think that's such an amazing blessing that you've gotten to spend so much time there. I was talking to someone recently about some icons that were streaming Mer here in our town, but just briefly at one of the parishes about 10 or 15 years ago. But I'm sort of in awe of your opportunity to just live amongst that, live in the midst of that miracle daily. Truly beautiful. I hope that your students will get to hear more about that from you, because I know they're going to love that. So you are going to be teaching, Ms. Wilkinson's going to be teaching, as we said, Russian with us. And so our last of our 5 questions is, what goodness could someone expect from your course?
Well, I think if the children are eager and enthusiastic to learn, then they will really delight in the beauty of the Russian language. And again, they will grow with their language acquisition. They will gain more and more vocabulary over the course of the year. And one other important thing that happens at St. Raphael, as I was told by Dr. Aaron, is that in the language courses, they try to teach also the ethnic prayers. So so I'm also going to be teaching some Slavonic prayers, and I think that will be very fruitful for our, especially for our Orthodox children taking this course. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm delighted for that for them. And I love hearing the kids recite their prayers in other languages. We often in our parishes do a lot of that around Lent and Pascha, but we don't as much throughout the year. And I feel like I've learned so much from our St. Raphael students, how much they love knowing the Our Father, knowing the Jesus prayer, knowing perhaps something like Rejoice, O Virgin in other languages, so that they can incorporate it, throughout the year. So it's a real richness to be able to experience that, especially for those of us maybe who don't grow up in bilingual homes. We love that you're going to be able to come and share that beauty with us, which I know is going to be wonderful for all of our students. So thank you so much for joining us. I should share with everyone that I've been teaching many of the Russian courses up until now, and I am so excited to have someone join our team as we keep building out our Russian offerings with St. Raphael School. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we finish our interview?
Nothing that comes right away, except I hope everyone has a good rest of your summer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I pray that we're all enjoying rest over the summer. And we talk all the time about restful learning at Schola Academy and St. Raphael School. So it's really important that we have the time to rest, especially even from our studies, which are beautiful and good, and we can delight in them with so much joy, but it's good to have our sort of downtime and our time to let ourselves rest. So
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking some time out of your summer to be with us. I'm really looking forward to people being able to join us for more Russian next year. If anyone would like to, we will include here a link to the courses that Ms. Wilkinson is teaching, and you can always reach out to her via the website if you have any questions. And we'll look forward to having you join us next year. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Erin.
Uh-huh.